Nowadays, the mankind is watching, astonished, the extraordinary and unusual worldwide fact that moves daily as in a giant billiard table, enormous ciphers flying around as bits and bytes at the speed of the light, transferring from one point to another of the planet, fabulous fortunes in a true speculative orgy, completely dissociated from reality, without any correspondence with the real reach of our physical world, the so-called globalization. It seems to those not fully aware, and we shall include here sadly the great majority of citizens, that this process is creating a world in which everyone will have access to a higher standard of life with greater social justice. That fact comes to us by the media as a cure-all for the biggest world problems. As a matter of fact, it is necessary to be pointed out that only 2 to 3% of all those transactions raising to $3 trillion a day, only 2 to 3% refer to commercial and industrial activities. On the other hand, the great majority of the financial transactions is purely speculative, as if money by itself would be able to generate more money, as a fantasy that is carrying the world economy to a triad end. Until the 70s, the Bretton Woods rules were followed. Money to flow between nations needed the previous government authorization. There was a fixed exchange rate between the currencies of the greatest industrialized nations. The Fed assured with the gold equivalent any transaction. In other words, there were restrictions to the flow of speculative money. In 1973, the US government imposed an unilateral look, and the barriers disappeared. Gold reserves are no longer necessary. Money is no more the wealth symbol. It is the wealth proper, a feature in such a way that goes to the edge of insanity is supported by a group of worldwide institutions, the so-called international financial system. And here are included the IMF, the World Bank, the World Trade Organization, and so on. That is the money empire, the false money, the real speculation conducting the mankind to its ruin and destruction. Well, gentlemen, it is with that false money that mega speculators through the world are willing to buy the real riches of all developing countries. In Brazil, they are selling out by the dozen all of our strategic state companies. The right words are these. They are giving away all of our strategic resources, including Vale do Rodolfo Company, the greatest iron mining company in the world, by only $3 billion, equivalent to less than half of 1% of its estimated value. In Brazil, we have the greatest reserves in the world of niobium, titanium, first quality quartz. We are the greatest gold producers in Latin America. We have the richest subsoil in this planet, and we are seeing our riches going there cheap to the industrialized countries. President Clinton, during the Summit of the Americas in Santiago, recently said, "Your prosperity lifts ours, our prosperity lifts yours." Is that really true? From the Brazilian states of Amapá and Minas Gerais, we carried millions of tons of manganese sold by insignificant prices. Now, in those Brazilian states, we have only big land craters, holes, and our manganese rests in Pennsylvania. It's now part of the US strategic inventory. In the future, we'll have to pay whatever price they want for that same mineral. Let me call your attention to another fact. We are not only the richest country in the world, for while in at least one state of the US, it is necessary the desalinization of water for having fresh water, we have 21% of the fresh water resources on the planet. We are the 5th country in territorial extension. We receive solar energy all year long, all over the country. That huge and inconceivable amount of energy